A developer launched an app in the morning. By afternoon, it had real users. By evening, it had duplicate charges, exposed API keys, and a database anyone could read. He couldn't fix any of it because he didn't write the code. An AI did. And when the AI's code broke, there was nobody in the building who understood why it worked in the first place. This isn't a hypothetical. This is happening right now in production to real businesses with real customers. And in this video, we are gonna unleash 5 such real incidents where vibe coding turned out to be a production level disaster. Let's start with the most measurable disaster. In March 2026, the Cloud Security Alliance published a research note that should have made every CTO's blood run cold. AI-assisted commits expose secrets at more than twice the rate of human-only commits, 3.2% versus 1.5%. Public GitHub saw a 34% year-over-year increase in hard-coded credentials discovered in 2025, the largest single-year jump ever recorded. A Reddit post from r/vibe coding went viral. A developer who'd been vibe coding for 6 months wrote, "My code base is a disaster. It had over 1900 upvotes and over 600 comments. The top comment, just hire someone to clean up the code." But here's the thing. Another developer posted that a real developer looked at their vibe coded app and the first thing he found was their API keys just sitting in the code. The AI never told them this was bad. They genuinely didn't know. Escape.tech, an API security firm, scanned over 1400 vibe-coded production applications. 65% had security issues. 58% contained at least one critical vulnerability. Over 400 exposed secrets. 175 instances of exposed personally identifiable information. Bank account data just sitting there on the internet. That's not a coding mistake. That's a loaded weapon left on a park bench. On February 2, 2025, researcher and former OpenAI scientist Andrej Karpathy coined the term vibe coding. His description was deliberate, a development mode where you describe what you want in natural language, accept the AI's output without detailed review, and rely on follow-up prompts to fix problems rather than reasoning through the code itself. He called it fully giving into the vibes. Collins English Dictionary named it Word of the Year for 2025. That's how fast this spread. And on the surface, the case for vibe coding is overwhelming. A 2025 Stack Overflow survey found 84% of professional developers either actively using or planning to use AI coding tools. GitHub reports that 46% of all code accepted by GitHub users is AI generated. But here's the twisted reality. Demo day is not production day. And the same study that found 84% adoption also found developer trust in AI accuracy fell from 40% to 29% year over year. Near universal adoption alongside declining confidence in correctness. That combination defines the crisis we are in. But what if the app doesn't crash? What if it just doesn't work? Security firm Tensai tested 15 production applications built using 5 major AI coding tools. They found 69 vulnerabilities across the sample. Every single application tested lacked CSRF protection. Every single one had no security headers configured. Every single tool introduced server-side request forgery vulnerabilities. A clean sweep, 100% failure rate on basic security controls across all 15 applications. Veracode's 2025 Gen AI Code Security Report tested over 100 LLMs on 80 curated coding tasks. AI-generated code introduces security vulnerabilities in 45% of cases. Java showed the highest failure rate at over 70%. And here's the disturbing part. Despite ongoing functional improvements across model generations, security pass rates remain flat. The models got better at writing code that works. They didn't get better at writing code that's safe. A senior engineer on Reddit reviewed 3 vibe-coded apps. His findings? Auth tokens committed to the repo. Row-level security misconfigured on at least one table. No rate limiting on any endpoint. No error handling past the happy path. These aren't edge cases. These are the 4 walls of every vibe-coded building, and none of them are load-bearing. This is the failure mode that founders miss entirely. The app looks like it works. The UI updates. The user sees a confirmation. But behind the scenes, the database write failed. The webhook didn't fire. The payment processing call returned an error that was swallowed without logging. A developer who built 30 plus vibe-coded SaaS apps documented the same mistake appearing in every single one. Cancelled subscriptions that don't revoke access, failed payments that don't pause the account, refunds that don't lock users out of paid features. The Stripe integration handles the happy path beautifully. Everything else, the actual business logic that keeps you from giving away your products for free, that's just not there. One developer spent 3 weeks debugging a payment issue because they kept thinking Stripe's dashboard was the source of truth. Their webhook queue was just sitting there unprocessed. Charges going through, confirmation were being sent, money not actually collected. Another vibe coded a SaaS for photographers. Made $870 in one day. Sounds great until you read the details. 4 duplicate payments, silent failures in the billing flow. The $870 was cool. The duplicate charges were the real story. Most founders buried that stuff. He didn't. That's what makes it a data point instead of a marketing post. So far, these are solo developers and small startups. But what happens when vibe coding reaches enterprise? On r/sysadmin, a post with over 250 upvotes, anyone getting worried about vibe coding? The top comment with over 260 upvotes, what do you mean by getting worried? We have all been worried for months. Another comment with over 150 upvotes, an uncomfortable thing is that vibe coding internal apps, dashboards, workflow tools are going to explode over the coming years. There's a huge amount of unmet need for internal tooling. If it's not available from IT, they'll just build it themselves. Think about that. Internal tools that handle employee data, financial reports, access control, built by people who don't know what CSRF production is, deployed on company infrastructure with no security review. A product management community is actively discussing how to handle the vibe coders in their sales teams. Non-engineers building customer-facing tools and presenting them as production ready. The new stack compared the risk to the Challenger disaster. Not because vibe coding will literally explode, but because the same pattern is there. A known risk that everybody acknowledges, but nobody acts on until something catastrophic forces their hand. CVEs formerly attributed to AI-generated code jumped from 6 in January 2026 to 35 in March 2026. Researchers estimate the actual count is 5 to 10 times higher because most AI tools leave no commit metadata. The code is in your systems, you just can't find it. But the most dangerous failure isn't security or billing, it's something invisible. A Reddit post with over 800 upvotes says, vibe coding feels amazing until an experienced developer reviews your code. The developer described what happened when a senior engineer looked at their app. Bad architecture choices, performance issues, unnecessary rebuilds, weird state management decisions, pattern that fight the framework instead of working with it. And then the sentence that defines this entire crisis. And the crazy part is, I genuinely could not see those problems myself. That's not a skill gap. That's comprehension debt. When you don't write the code, you don't understand the code. When you don't understand the code, you can't debug the code. And when you can't debug the code, you are not a developer. You are a passenger in a car with no driver. A 10-year experienced staff engineer described inheriting a 3-month-old repo from a vibe engineer. He called it a bloated disaster, completely out of touch with the actual product requirements. Code Rapids analysis of 470 pull requests found the AI-generated code produces 1.7 times more issues than human-written code. Security vulnerabilities, 2.7 times higher. Performance inefficiencies, nearly 8 times more frequent. The Cursor CEO himself told Fortune that vibe coding builds shaky foundations that eventually crumble. When the person selling the shovel warns you about the hole, pay attention. And by the way, we have made a video on Cursor. Be sure to check that one out as well, if you haven't already. Vibe coding isn't going away. 91% of developers have adopted AI tools, and that number is only going up. The question isn't whether AI writes code. It's whether you can still fix it when it's wrong. The 5 failures we cover today, credential sprawl, security blind spots, silent business logic, failures, enterprise infiltration, and comprehension debt, they are not hypothetical. They are happening right now to real businesses with real customers and real money on the line. The solution isn't to stop using AI. It's to stop treating AI output like finished code. Review everything, test everything, and never ever ship something you can't explain. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section below. Have you ever shipped vibe coded code to production and what happened? We'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, peace out.